Welcome to Danger Snacks. I am Karen Mangiacotti. Let's talk about the power of the pussy. That's right, girl power. The collective power of half of the world's population. The givers of life. The nurturers of the universe. There is nothing we can't do. Except perhaps believe that narrative. Since almost half of the voting women in America showed us in the 2016 elections that they still could not put their faith in a female leader, it's time we started looking at why. Yes, we may identify as Wonder Woman and wear t-shirts that say, "I saved myself, thank you very much," and shake what our mamas gave us when Beyonce asks us, "Who runs the world?" But then we turn right around and make 50 Shades of Grey a bestseller. We shove the princess narrative down our daughters' throats. We say we want to be strong, but we really want to be saved. It is okay to admit, and it is okay if you are not ready to acknowledge this truth. But we should not feel shame about the parts of us that want to be saved. They make sense, and here's why. 1. Even in America, where we have some sense of women's rights, shit is harder to do when you're a woman. I am sorry, but it's true. Making as much money as a man is more difficult to do. Having your voice heard in a room full of men is more difficult to do. And taking up your power and your space on this planet is more difficult to do if you are a woman. It makes sense if we want to be saved by a man because it is easier for men to obtain power. It only makes sense. When I want to reach something high, I ask my tall husband to get it because he can. 2. We're tired. Women are generally the caretakers. We are often the ones who care for the children, the elderly, the sick or disabled, and we maintain social calendars. It makes sense that sometimes we want to be taken care of. We find 50 Shades of Grey sexy because the female protagonist gets everything she could ever want or need. Her every single desire is taken care of. Sure, she gives up human rights and is abused in the process, but hasn't that kind of been the role of women since the beginning of time? She has every single thing she needs taken care of. Possibilities are endless. She has to work at nothing. It has its appeal. 3. Authority figures are men. This is what we may feel, however subconsciously. Of course, it makes sense. Even today, most school superintendents, school principals, police officers, firefighters, military soldiers, doctors, attorneys, directors, newscasters, people who write for TV and movies, managers and CEOs are men. In America, every president and most members of Congress and the Supreme Court are men. Even Santa and Jesus are men. We have all grown up with men in every single authoritative role in our lives. 4. Women are more vulnerable than men in America. Sexual assault, reproductive rights issues, motherhood, physicality, and, dare I say, the calculated attack on our self-esteem and judgment of our actions often leave us in situations where we feel powerless. Wait, what? Karen Mangiacotti, feminist and activist? What are you saying? Where did you go so horribly astray? Simmer down, friends. Simmer. It's still me. And I'm still here, but we cannot fix what we don't acknowledge. If any of those things ring true for you, feel no shame. We have been fed this narrative our whole lives. It is a universal story that has lived throughout the ages, in every culture. We are evolutionarily programmed this way. It lives deep within ourselves. But now that we've shed a little light on it, it's time to clean out our bullshit notions. Kind of like a facial, where you gently extract the dirt and oil and belief systems that clog your pores and your mind. Time to unpack some baggage. So let's cleanse some bullshit ideas out of our heads by first acknowledging that they're there and sending them on their way. Women are irrational, overly sensitive, and hormonal. No, 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 and bye-bye. Success means you must be a bitch. Maybe. And 20% of male CEOs are sociopaths. Sometimes excellence comes at a price. Bye-bye. You have to do it all. You may stay home and care for your kids, but what about your career? Sure, your career is great, but what about your family? You must do it all. In fact, if you can't, there's something wrong with you. And while we're at it, if another woman is successful, she's only illustrating what a failure you are. Ridiculous. First, don't compare yourself to other people. And second, you are enough. Love yourself and love successful women. They make the world better for everyone. So, bye-bye. You need to be taken care of. No, you don't. You've got this. You are stronger than you know. So, bye-bye. Authority figures are men. Some are. And some are women. And some have yet to decide. But one thing is for sure, that strength and authority don't come from your genitals. They come from your head and your heart. Bye-bye. Women who buck the system threaten the status quo. Yeah, they do. And if we never changed the status quo, you wouldn't be able to vote or own property. By challenging expectations, by not taking a man's name in marriage, by fighting for roles that are traditionally male. You don't hurt others, you help others by helping us all to see what doesn't make sense and by opening doors. So, bye-bye. Cold women are evil. No, cold women are just people. Just because a woman does not smile at all times or constantly try to make everyone around her feel at ease, as her training as a woman has taught her to do, doesn't mean she's evil. It means she has shit to do. In fact, all of us women have shit to do. 1, unpack your baggage that gets in the way of you supporting other women. Done. 2, find your own strength as a woman, as a person. This is not the time for women to be complacent. We now live in a world where hate has its foot in the White House door, and we are all called upon to be heroes, to protect love and decency. Come on! You know how strong women can be. You see it every day, and just because you don't see it in the upper echelons of authority with equal representation does not mean that women cannot rise to power. It may mean that we, each in our own way, have prevented them from doing that. 3, start supporting the hell out of other women in any way you can. Know that women have an uphill battle towards success. Give them a hand or a boost, or at the very least, stop pushing them back down the hill. This is it, women. We need to realize that we are evolutionarily programmed to hold ourselves back, and then we need to let that shit go. We need to start believing in the power of the pussy. We need to start believing in ourselves as leaders and as competent. And when Beyonce asks, who runs the world? We need to say girls and mean it. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate our little visits. So please click the subscribe button so that we can stay in conversation, and share this video using the link below, because we really